We have finally come to the end of this exercise. I must confess it was an awesome experience. It's not an easy outing, but we've done our best. So I'll give my co-judges the microphone to talk about what they observed during the exercise before we now announce the results.
Okay, like the chief judge said, they did wonderfully well. So kudos to both schools. I only want to point out something, just one thing. At the time, I could not differentiate one point from another. Like, we don't know when the first one starts or when the second one starts. You tend to like jumble some things or points together. And then some of you were repeating points. Like a point one speaker raised, the other will still raise it. So these are the two things I observed from the debate.
Okay, my own observation is that although all of you did very well, but some of you were rushing your points so much that we couldn't, at the time, you couldn't get some of your points very well. You know that when you are debating, you try to marshal up your points in a way that the judges will understand what you are saying and be able to score you. Because some of you were rushing at the time that we started losing your points. We don't know what people were saying again. But all the same, you did very well. All of you, your pronunciation were all very well heard and every other thing. So we thank every one of you for dominating your stage and for making us to realize that there is a negative and positive aspect of Western culture to our culture. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, I thank you, my co-judges, for your observations. I actually noticed some things. I noticed that some of the debaters were not able to itemize their points, like my co-judges pointed out. It was difficult for us to know where one point started and where one ended. So it was difficult to actually draw the line between your first point and your second point and your third point. So please, next time when you are preparing for such an event or for such exercise, you do well to itemize your points. Let's know when you finish discussing one point and when you've gone into another. Then I also noticed that you were all kind of tensed. It's a normal thing. When you're coming out of the stage to talk, the stage fright is inevitable. It happens to everybody. But your ability to control it and manage yourself, manage the stage very well, is a plus. So the stage fright there, almost all of you had that stage fright, but some people overcame it at some point and also went on to talk about their points very well. I also noticed that there are some people that they were talking about the Western civilization, the way of life, the culture of the people. And some of them that actually gave us quotes of how this thing started, how the origin of this Western civilization, it was actually a plus for them. So your ability to tell us the history of what you're talking about and the events that led to that thing is also a good one. So I noticed that both teams, you were able to do that. Then for the counter, I don't think you actually understood what counter meant, because there was one team could not counter very well. I explained it before we started. Your ability to draw points from your opposite or from the opposite team. When you draw points from the team, you the team that you were not originally prepared for. I know that most of you had your points. You prepared these points before coming. But when you're in the course of the debate, you must have listened to your opponent's talk. So your ability to draw points from what your opponent has said and counter that opinion is what we refer to as counter. So one team did not actually do that. Maybe they didn't really understand. But for the team that actually countered, it means they were paying attention to what the other team was talking about, for them to be able to draw out the points from the opposing team and counter it. So in all, the performance was really, it's commendable. I commend you all for coming around and to participate in this event. It's not an easy one. So for the result, I know that in a debate, in an exercise like this, or in a competition like this, one team must win. We're even debating among ourselves that I think we should have done it individually, like individual points, individual scoring, because some people actually performed more than others. But in this exercise, we're going to do this as a team. Since you worked as a team, and your topic, you worked as a team. So, but based on individuals, some individuals actually stood out than the others. But we're going to judge it based on your teamwork. Teamwork matters, team spirit. You must have organized your points in such a way that one person will actually bring out everything, or you will have something to say at some point. So it's a teamwork. So we're going to judge it based on the team. But for your individual performances, you all did well. So I commend you all. So now we're going to look at the result, the final scores. I just want to remind us of the topic we looked at today. We looked at Western civilization has done more harm than good to African culture. And one team proposed that it's actually done more harm than good with their points. And another team opposed the motion that African culture has done more harm than good, more good than harm, whatever. So there's a proposing side, there's an opposing side, and we have all heard your points. So in the final analysis, from the proposing side, we had a total of 934 with an average of 311.33. While from the opposing side, we have a total of 811 with an average of 270.33. So with this result, I pronounce the proposing side the grand winner of this exercise.